What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again back here with another rebuild, another installment of the teams that don't need my help and I don't often do videos on, such as like the Thunder lately, the Nuggets, and now the Boston Celtics. And clearly you guys know the reasons why we don't do videos on them very often, because they're all contenders and they don't really need me to help them, but it's always in the 2K realm where they don't have much success. Also, I was recording this, it's also St. Patrick's Day, so I guess that is kind of a theme a little bit there with the green, I guess. But all right, let's jump in to this Boston Celtics rebuild in 2K25. Even though they don't need me, but in 2K, sometimes they don't often win the championship, so we could save them in that realm and not necessarily in real life. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 57% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if we do fall in that 57%, want to change that as we're on the road to 50,000 subs. That would be greatly appreciated. So 49-19 on the season. Obviously, I don't need to tell you that the Celtics are a damn good team. They're a contender. We all are very aware of that. We've done, like I said, the Thunder, who are a contender. We've done the Nuggets, who are a contender. And now we're doing the Celtics, who, of course, are as well. So, without further ado, we're going to simulate the rest of year one. And often the Celtics don't actually win the championship very often. It used to be like they used to all the time. But maybe it never was like that. I may be thinking of a different team. But the Celtics often don't have success in the 2K sim is what I'm trying to say, I guess. We're going to go ahead and simulate the rest of year one. We'll see how the team finishes out, and we'll see if we can't get a championship in year one. But usually it doesn't happen that way, but we'll see if it does this time around. So Shea wins MVP, Stephon Castle Rookie of the Year, Jonas Valanciunas Sixth Man, Giannis Defensive Player, Amin Thompson Most Improved, and Trae Young is your Clutch Player, and Mark is your Coach of the Year, and Murphy is your Executive. So I've also had quite a bit of fun doing these teams that I don't often really talk about because there's no need to. Like, I've had fun kind of just shaking up the rosters. In kind of a realistic sense, we've kind of gone off the rails a tad bit, which has been kind of fun. It's been kind of a mix, basically. But 27 points from Jason Tatum, 24 from Jaylen Brown, 18 from Porzingis, 16 from Derek White, and 14 from Peyton Pritchard, 10 from Drew Holiday, and 8 from Al Horford. So let's go ahead and see what this rotation is going to look like for the playoffs. Maybe making the rotation different would help. So Peyton Pritchard might get the start, which I'm not sure I can get behind, but I think in the future, if we could start Peyton Pritchard throughout the video, I think that'd be really cool. So we might do something like that. But I'm going to keep Drew Holiday as a starter for now. But in the offseason, where he might regress, we might consider trading him if anybody would sign up for that, which I don't know if they would because he's going to be 35 going into next year. But we'll see if we can maybe make something happen. But in round one, we draw the Detroit Pistons, which is a very fun story this year, obviously. So we'll go ahead and see if we can't knock them off. But we should be a team that beats them. If we don't, then we have issues. So let's simulate current round against Detroit, and we will beat them in 6. Okay, now we draw the New York Knicks, which should be a very tough matchup. The Knicks obviously kind of built their roster to try to take down the Celtics with a bunch of wings and Mikal and OG, and then Karl-Anthony Towns with a new addition, obviously, in the offseason. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart does his thing out there, but let's see how this goes. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. So far, so good. But are the Knicks going to even it up? Nope, 3-1, and we beat them in 5. So now we draw the Atlanta Hawks, which is interesting to say the least, because obviously Atlanta is one of those teams that probably won't see the finals this year, which they won't even be close. But here goes nothing. So game 1 goes to us. It would be hilarious if we won a championship after I said that this team often doesn't have success. But usually it's like Minnesota or the Knicks that go on and win it all. But right now we're in the finals, so kind of counterintuitive to what I said, and we get to play the Clippers. So I think in year 1, we're actually going to win a championship. So we're going to go back-to-back because obviously they won in real life. If we beat the Clippers, that is. And they're up 1-0, so maybe I spoke too soon. Oh, wait a minute. I've never seen the Clippers have this much success in the 2K sim before, but they might sweep us here, which would be kind of crazy unless we come down from 3-0, which is very possible because 2K loves to do that. We almost blew a game 4 away and got swept, but we'll see if we can win game 5 to force a game 6. It's one game at a time mentality. I'm very surprised that the Clippers are giving us this many issues. I don't often see them have this much success. Jason Tatum had 63 in game 5. Damn. Okay, so game 6 on the road to force them back to TD Garden. Can we go to a game 7 after being down 3-0? It's close, but it looks like it's going to be back and forth. We're going to overtime, and we do barely squeak it out. Wow. Okay, so who hit the game winner? So there was definitely a game winner. Porzingis jump shot made at the buzzer. Wow. 3-point shot to win us the game. Shout out to Porzingis, dude. That's crazy. Man, Derek White also hit a 3-2 to make it a 1-point game. So yeah, big shots by our guys. So that happened with 11 seconds. How did we get the ball back? I mean, I guess Did we not even foul? I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but we won. And now we're going to a game 7 after being down 3-0. So let's see if we can't complete the 3-0 comeback that the Celtics almost did against the Miami Heat back in the day. I guess it wasn't really back in the day. It wasn't that long ago. But right now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen unless we get back in the game, which it's going to be close relatively. I might have to jump in and watch this bad boy here at the end. It's a 1-point game. Now it's a 3-point game again. We got to watch the last 2 minutes here because this is going to be close. I'm not going to play this out, although I could. Do I play this out? No, let's just watch it. Let's just watch it for the entertainment here. So, whoops, I need to do this first, and then we can do the camera. All right, so let's sit back and start off with some sweet gameplay to end, or I guess not ending the video off. We're still at the beginning. So, Drew Holiday is going to give it to Tatum. Tatum has Derek Jones guarding him. Screen from Porzingis. Oh, that's open 3. That's, yeah. Oh, my gosh. That was literally the best look that you could have wanted, honestly, and it goes in and out. Norman Powell gets, ooh, hard foul by Jaylen Brown. Damn, that 3 is going to come back to haunt us, isn't it? Tatum has to make that. Powell at the free throw line is going to make the first one. So now we find ourselves down 6. Now, there's still plenty of time, but it's going to be tough. Actually missed it, so we're down 5. We're going to go in transition here. Jaylen Brown has the ball. He's going to take it, and he's going to give it to Derek White. Back to Jaylen Brown, to Tatum. Tatum's going to try to force up a shot over Derek Jones, and it does not go in. So we're going to miss 2 shots in a row from Jason Tatum. And now Kawhi has the ball. He's going to give it to Harden for 3, and that could be dagger. So same thing where we forced a game 7 after being down 3-0. It looks like we might be done for unless if we have a little bit of a comeback in our Tatum is going to take it, and he's going to make the layup. Okay, so it makes it a 6-point game. Definitely need to stop on this defensive side. If we don't, then we're definitely in trouble. Kawhi and Leonard, I mean, they have Ben Simmons out here too. Kawhi is going to have the ball. Jaylen Brown guarding him, and Kawhi loses it. Okay, that was a big defensive stop. Give it to Tatum in transition. Tatum's going to take it, and he is going to, all right, that makes it interesting. Minute 19 left with a 4-point game. We're not dead yet. Not dead yet. We just need another defensive stop. Let's see if we can get it. There's still plenty of time. Don't have to foul here. Need a stop on the defensive side of the ball. Can we get it? That was the question. So Jaylen Brown's guarding Kawhi. Kawhi is taken to the basket, and he is defended well right now. Harden hit a big 3 earlier. Drew Holiday. What's he going to do here? 6 seconds on the shot clock. Harden is going to have to force something up here in a second. He does, and that is great defense, and we have the ball. Okay, still plenty of time in this game. Need a shot here. Brown is left open. I would have loved to have seen him take a 3, but it takes a mid-range instead. 119 to 117, just like that, is a 2-point game. Wow, this definitely took a crazy turn, but we need another stop on a defensive end. Ben Simmons screen. Kawhi going to have it, and he's going to give it to Harden. Drew Holiday just did a great job earlier. Can he do it again? Harden is going to get stopped again. They're about to bring the double team, but they don't. Kawhi is going to have to hoist up a 3, isn't he? Is he going to make it? Nope. This is going to be another bad shot. And it does not go down. And we have the ball with 22 seconds left. So the defense has stepped up, and the Clippers have not had an answer. But now we're down 2 with 22 seconds left on the clock. Do we go for 3? Man, this is entertaining as hell. And we're just at the beginning. So Jason Tatum going to have it. Is he going to just take it to the 2? He shoots a mid-range. It does not go in. Foul Ben Simmons. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, man, that was not a great shot by Jason Tatum. I'm not going to lie. We've created some good looks, and Tatum just kind of sold there. They're going to make the first one. We do have a timeout left. If Powell somehow misses, it makes things interesting. He missed one earlier. He does not miss that one, though. So we're going to call a timeout. We might be in trouble here. Tatum, I would have loved to have seen you take a better shot there. That was really bad. Bad shot selection. Okay. 4-point game, 15 seconds left. It's not impossible, but it's not going to be easy. So let's see what we do on this inbound play. Jaylen Brown's going to get it, and he's going to have an open look, but we're not inbounding it. Kawhi almost got to steal. He gambled, and he left Brown open, so we hit the 2. But it's not going to matter if they keep hitting free throws to match it. So Powell's going to get the ball again, and we still have 12 seconds left. So we need Powell to miss one. Will he is the question. Let's do the LTRT thing. I don't even think I can since I'm not playing. But Powell is going to make the first one, and I'm assuming he'll make the second one too. And he does. So both go in. We need a quick basket and a foul again. So Jason Tatum's going to have the ball. 9 seconds. Brown, 3. Going to have to hoist it. Good defense. And that's going to be all she wrote. So we came back. Just Ben Simmons should have been the guy to foul earlier, and that is really unfortunate. So game 7 does not swing our way after we went down 3-0. Yeah, but yeah, Ben Simmons is hitting free throws. So the Clippers of all teams are going to win the championship in year one, which is wild. And Tatum's going to have to hoist one up, and it does not go down. So 124 to 119 loss in game 7. Pretty wild, but I guess we got some work to do. So we'll go see what more we can do in the offseason. But damn, that was heartbreaking as hell, man. We were having a run there, but it's back to the drawing board. James Harden won the finals MVP as we forced a game 7 after being down 3-0. Al Horford's going to call it a career, which I do think is a possibility. So we're not going to make him come back. And then Chris Paul's retiring, Lowry's retiring, Conley retires. So let's go to the lottery, even though I don't think this is going to matter for us, obviously. I'm pretty sure we have some draft picks traded away. Maybe we have a pick here. I don't know. Actually, we do. 27th overall. So Blazers 2, Spurs 1, and the Jazz number 3. So the Spurs get to add Flag to that Fox and Wembanyama duo, which is interesting if they decide to take him. And now we're going to draft night, and we'll have to see what we can do here. So on draft night with the 27th pick, I think I want to trade Drew Holiday, and I want to give the keys to Peyton Pritchard to start. I know Drew Holiday defensively, what he does, but I do have my doubts where I think he's going to regress, and I think it'd be best if we took advantage of him, you know, being moved right now before he regresses like crazy. So if we trade Drew Holiday, what do we want in return? So Pritchard's going to be the starting point guard next year, which I think is fun. Derek White is going to continue to stay here, obviously. Jaylen Brown, Sam Hauser, Tatum, Tillman, and then you have Cornette. So to me, we could literally need anything. Honestly, we could trade for anything on the bench. It really isn't out of the possibilities. So whatever Drew Holiday can net us, that is what I'm going to go for. But hopefully we can get something pretty good in return. So in my opinion, I do think this is probably the best trade of the bunch. We could bring Marcus Smart back to Boston as well, which would be fun. That would be kind of an interesting reunion where the Wizards would just take on Drew Holiday's contract. Now, the problem with this is I don't really want Rashawn Holmes like that. But if there was another player I could bring in instead, I would not mind this. But we can't bring in like Alex Sarr. But could we get Corey Kispert and bring back Marcus Smart to Boston and we trade the 27th pick? So we trade Drew Holiday. Obviously, the Wizards would be taking his contract on, and he'd be a veteran presence. Maybe the Wizards find a way to send him in somewhere else, and then we could trade him and their second round pick back. So we could bring Marcus Smart back to Boston, and we could have Corey Kispert come in as a new addition too. I don't hate this, and then we can maybe throw them another second. Let's just throw them as many seconds as possible and see what they say to this. So Holiday, 27th overall pick, 3 seconds for Smart and Kispert. I believe Boston and Washington have done business before, so this could be interesting. Smart's an expiring. Kispert's a good addition. So they don't agree to it. They want an unprotected Boston pick. They'll give me Justin Champagnie, who shot 39% from 3 last year. I don't hate it. Do I want Justin Champagnie? He's listed at power forward right now. So we move him to the 3. He'd probably go up. We can move Corey Kispert to the 2 guard also. And then Marcus Smart could be the backup point guard. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm down for this. We do have to trade a lot of picks to do this, but we're getting 3 really good players in return for Drew Holiday. I prefer not to trade unprotected, but I guess I'm going to go ahead and do it. So let's make it happen. So we bring back Marcus Smart, get Kispert and Champagnie. A little bit of an interesting trade, but that gives Peyton Pritchard the keys, and it gives us exactly a bench we're looking for, which also helps out a ton too. So now I think I could look for a backup center would be ideal. So maybe Hauser's contract could be used for a backup 5 somehow. He's only making $10 million, so would have to really get creative here to do it. Or we might even have the potential to just sign one, maybe. We'll see. Because I'm assuming this team is over the second apron, so we can't aggregate salaries probably. So yeah, we're well over it at this point. So yeah, we're not really going to be able to bring in any... I mean, we could bring Drummond in, I guess, but that's about it. So I think now it's time to figure out what I'm going to do with Sam Hauser, just because he's the one making the most money here. And we just brought in Smart and Kispert, who are going to be new additions. And Champagnie can be moved to the 3 to take over Sam Hauser's role, basically. So we'll figure out what we can get in return for Sam Hauser, and then we'll, have our backup center situation figured out. So I'm trying to figure out if I can do a Sam Hauser for Jalen Smith swap. Now, they did want a first-round pick, so I don't think I can do this because I'm not trading a 2028 pick just to get Jalen Smith. I can't get behind that. So to me, I think we're stuck with Sam Hauser, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. So I guess we'll have Smart, Kispert, Champagnie, Sam Hauser, and then Neemias Queta might have to be our backup 5, unless if we sign Andre Drummond to be our backup 5, or you bring back Luke Cornette too, or there's Larry Nance, like a number of different options we could bring in, or even Looney. But I guess we could just trust Neemias Queta to get it done for us. I mean, I know he's been in the system for a while, so I don't think I'm going to bring anybody back. I'm just going to renounce everyone and just rock with that. So yeah, we're not trading for a backup 5 unless if someone becomes available at the deadline, but our asset pool is very limited. So we have Tatum, who's regressed. Smart stays the same. I actually pushed his peak end age up so he wouldn't regress like crazy because I really like the addition of him and I want him to be a big part of this rotation. Hauser, Champagny, and then Kita didn't develop at all, but still 76. And then Jordan Walsh is still waiting in the background too to maybe become something for us in the future. But after being one game away from going back-to-back, obviously the goal is to get back to the finals again, but this time take care of business. We kind of hope the addition of what we brought on the bench is going to be helpful to that role. Drew Holiday, Washington, and now we have Peyton Pritchard as a starter. So this should be pretty interesting to say the least. So let's look at the rotation here in just a second, and we'll be ready for year number 2. Actually, we're ready right now. So proficiency 4-star. So rotation's basically the same other than Pritchard gets the nod at the starting point guard spot now with a bench of Smart, Kispert, Sam Hauser, and Champagny. So we'll see how that goes. I'll run a 10 rotation for the season. That way Kita gets back up 5 minutes because Porzingis obviously has his injury concerns as well. So let's go ahead, simulate year 2. The expectation is being in the playoffs again, but this time hopefully winning the whole thing again. At the end of year 2, Jokic wins MVP. Harper is your rookie of the year. Josh Giddey, 6-man in Denver as well. Chet's your defensive player and Nick Smith most improved. Tatum's your clutch player and Jason Kidd is your coach of the year and Hobson is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. So it didn't look like we got anybody on the Celtics on All-NBA teams, which is very interesting. All-defense first team and all-defensive second team, all-rookie first team and all-rookie second team. So still, no Celtics representatives on any of those. But we did end up as the second seed in the East. We did extend Porzingis and Marcus Smart, so we're keeping those guys around. But 24 from Tatum, 21 from Jaylen Brown, 18 from Porzingis, 12 from Derek White, 11.5 from Kispert, 9 from Smart, 9 from Pritchard, and 6 from Hauser, 6 from Champagny, and 5 and 3 from Nevis Kita. So let's go to a 9-man rotation for the playoffs, and we'll see if we can't go on to the finals again. So in round 1, we draw the Milwaukee Bucks. We got to do with Giannis and Damian Lillard, who have Oladipo. Wow, I haven't seen him on a starting team. Look what his numbers are. 28% from 3. Oh, my goodness. Alrighty, then. Very interesting. He hasn't been in the league since 2023, and the Bucks signed him to be their starting shooting guard. Damn. Oladipo, though, in Indiana, though, he was super nice. It kind of sucks we only saw that for like a year or whatever. I think it was only a year. But somebody come around against the Bucks, and we will beat them in 4. So that was easy, and now we draw the Cleveland Cavaliers, which might be a tougher one because they definitely have a really good team on paper, but we should have the size to match up well with them. And I guess we don't. I mean, size, not really, but we definitely have the team to match up. Do we go to a Game 7? Yes, we do. So Game 7's happening, and now we got to see if we can't win in Game 7 to avoid losing in round 2. So it's looking like a close game, and we will have them take the lead, and they're going to run with it unless... Nope, we're going to lose. We're going to lose in round 2. So this year, we're done for, and we don't even make it back to the finals. Cleveland's going to the finals. They play the Thunder, and the Thunder go on to win it all. So that, definitely unfortunate. So it makes me wonder what could be next for us. So Durant and LeBron are calling a career at the same time, which would be crazy. But for now, for the lottery. So this doesn't matter for us, obviously. Rockets have the Nets pick, which isn't true. Literally 3 of the top 4 picks are just completely incorrect. That need to go to the prospective team, so I'll have to fix that. But man, really unfortunate. So staff signing, we have, I guess, Joe Mazzulla as the head coach option still, or do we want to go for somebody else? I guess I'll just keep Joe Mazzulla. He's got probably the best badges here, so we'll just go for Joe Mazzulla. Let me fix some draft picks, and we'll talk about what could be next for what we do to try to better this team. The draft picks are fixed now, so let's just go ahead and see what we can get at pick 25. But 2 years now where we have not brought in another championship. So I'm just going to take Darion Reed here out of Alabama to start off this draft pick, and we get a 72 overall. So player options, Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh are free agents, but I will accept both of them. And then qualifying offers, nothing. And then for free agency, probably don't have a ton going on here. We have Tillman, who I probably won't worry about him considering he's a 71 overall. Jamal Shed is a free agent, which is definitely intriguing because he could be a really... Ooh, we also have Tamani Kamara. Why is Kamara a free agent? What are the Blazers doing? Sign me up for Tamani Kamara. Are you kidding me? Is he going to sign for us? I don't know. But we can bring in Tamani Kamara, and that would be awesome. But does he sign? He does. So we get Tamani Kamara on a minimum, which is just insanity. So we can move him to small forward. He'd probably go up in overall too, so that makes players more expendable. But Kamara, yeah, 83 overall. Sign me up for that. Obviously, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA nowadays for the Blazers, which has been awesome. What we've been looking for a very long time, as you guys know. But obviously, we kind of have a little bit of a logjam now at the shooting guard or the small forward spot. So, but Derek White's going to continue to start. Peyton Pritchard. So I guess we're gonna have to leave Jaylen Brown as a starter. Although I wouldn't mind. No, yeah, there's really no way to put Kamara in the starting lineup. I was kind of thinking about it, but now I look at it, there really isn't a way to do that. But there is still, I mean, we could technically do something crazy and trade, like, I don't know, we could trade somebody. I don't know who we would trade, but we could trade one of the starters. I don't know what I want in return. Like, Pritchard is cheap enough to where I don't think trading him makes sense. Derek White, I could, because there's a potential that he would regress, I guess. And then you can find a way to put, I don't know. It would have to really make sense for me to do that, but I might take a look into it. So I'm going to explore the idea of trading one of the starters if there's anything that I like in return for them, but I'm not going to force it if there's nothing I like. If not, you might be looking at a similar rotation, other than I'd probably trade one of the small forwards to get a better backup 5 than Neemias Queta, because he just isn't really good enough. But we'll see what I can find. So I have a little bit of an idea here. I don't know if this is going to work, but what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to try to trade away Corey Kispert for some draft picks. So the Rockets want to give me a couple of picks, which I can totally get down with. DiVincenzo and a first-round pick from Minnesota, which I don't hate the idea of if the Timberwolves wanted an upgrade as far as shooting is concerned. So I don't mind this. So I'm going to do this. We're getting an unprotected Minnesota pick in 2030. Can I squeeze a second out of them as well? Let's see. This should match. They want a first. I mean, I could get 2 seconds, but no thank you. Let me just get the unprotected pick. So this is my idea that I'm about to do. Just bear with me for just a second. So Corey Kispert is going to be sent to, Lou Dort's interesting too, but we have to follow the second apron rules to where we don't bring back more salary than we're sending out. So DiVincenzo, another pick. And you'll kind of understand why I'm doing this in just a second. But we get DiVincenzo, who will kind of replace Corey Kispert, which is great. We can move him to shooting guard, and he'll start there. Kamara could be stayed at the 3, but Sam Hauser and Champagnie, we'll figure that out in just a second. But the idea that I have in this one is a little crazy, but for whatever reason, if the Mavericks imploded, I want to see if I can find a way to acquire Derek Lively. I know that sounds wild, but right now he's only making $7 million before his contract kicks in. We could technically make it work. We'd be very screwed in the future, but we're going all in and trying to win a championship. So let me go Sam Hauser to match salary, and the Mavericks, of course, cannot take it, so that's actually not going to work. Damn. Well, I guess we can bring in another. Well, we could do Pritchard, but let me try Sam Hauser again, who's only making $10 million, and then they give me, like, okay, so Gregor Ellis, for instance. So Sam Hauser, and let's say we threw every single pick that we own here to try to get Derek Lively. I doubt this will go through, but it's worth a shot. And they don't agree. So they're saying they're contender. But I do have a backup plan. Okay, so not Lively, but there was another interesting one where he's only making less than $10 million. But that was kind of my game plan here, is to get a legitimate 5 for Jordan Walsh's for Sam Hauser's contract. So Lively fell into that, and so does like Klingon and Zach Edey. Could we get one of those two instead? I'd be fine with that. So Edey or Klingon, I'd probably prefer. I mean, they're both pretty unathletic for the most part. So I'm going to go Klingon here. I don't know if this is going to go through, though. So I'll offer Sam Hauser and these picks to see what they say to this. They don't agree. And I'll go another one. They don't agree. And a second. So far, this plan is failing miserably. But we do have Missy from the Pelicans as well, which isn't a bad idea. We'll go for him, potentially. So Missy, they can't take on the contract. They need to send me more money. Caleb Wilson probably be way too hard to pull off. Harrington, I don't know if they'd accept that. They want Tamani Kamara. I can't aggregate salaries. Okay, so far this plan is failing, but I'll find a way to make it happen. So by far the best center being offered to me is Day'Ron Sharpe. Now, I will tell you that I do not want to get behind trading 2 firsts to bring on Day'Ron Sharpe. I think that's a little extreme. I would throw you this second and this first round pick, which is a Spurs swap for Day'Ron Sharpe. What do you say? And they agree. Okay, so that actually went through. So we finally got it done. We got our backup 5 and Day'Ron Sharpe. So I appreciate Sam Hauser's services. But now we have this figured out. So DiVincenzo is going to move to the 2 guard now, which is great. So now we kind of have an interesting rotation where we shook things up a tad bit. So Pritchard's smart. We brought in Kamara through free agency, which he never should have been there, but he was. And then we can move Champagnie back to power forward. He will regress, but whatever. 76 overall. Now with the player progression, you're going to have Derek White regressing down to an 86. Peyton Pritchard up to an 84. Kamara's an 82. Queta is a 77. Champagnie is down. Jordan Walsh is slowly getting up there as well, developing. Okay, so now we're about to go into year 3, where we're hoping what we've done is going to pay off, but we'll see if that ends up working out. We've definitely shaken things up. If we feel like we need another shakeup next offseason, then we may trade one of Derek White or Jaylen Brown potentially, but I'm hoping we don't need to do that. So proficiency is still listed at balanced, and I'm still maybe also might explore the idea of trading Porzingis for a new center, but I didn't really see anything that I liked when I looked earlier, so probably wouldn't force anything at that point. So we're going to stick with a 9-man rotation, and like I said, proficiency is 4 stars, so I'm expecting another good season here, obviously. Starting 5 is basically the same, but our bench is damn good, in my opinion. Sharp, DiVincenzo, Kamara, Smart. I mean, really good bench. So we'll see if year 3 pays off with the championship. We were super close in year 1. Year 2, we got bounced in round 2. So hopefully this year things will go much better. But I'll see you guys at the end of year 3 with the expectation of hopefully bringing on a title. But we shall see. So Wemby brings home the MVP. AJ DeBanza is Rookie of the Year in Brooklyn. Josh Giddey, 6-man. Wemby Defensive Player. Ace Bailey, Most Improved. And Tatum's your clutch player. So we do get something this time. Missoula, Coach of the Year. Do we get an All-NBA first team this time? Yes, Tatum is back on an All-NBA second team. Here's your All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and All-Defensive second team. So it doesn't look like we have any Celtics representatives, but here's your all-rookie teams, which is nice, but obviously we're not really worried about rookies at this point. We get the first seed in the Eastern Conference, and here were your player stats. So 29 from Jason Tatum, 26.5 Jaylen Brown, 17 from Porzingis, 11 from Derek White, 10 and 6 from Pritchard, 9 from Smart, 8 from Sharp, and then 7 from Kamara, and 6 from Dante DiVincenzo. But all is about winning this championship. They want to start Smart, which I'm not opposed to. I mean, it doesn't matter. Whoever we play in round 1, we should be able to beat. It is the Pacers who have a decent team, but let's see if we can't take them out, and we're up 3-2. We're going to a game 7 with the Pacers, so that already doesn't make me feel great, but hopefully we can beat them. Now, the Pacers are a good team, so let me not just sleep on them, but man, if we lost in round 1, I'd be very disappointed, and it looks like that might happen unless we get back in it, but we're not going to. We're going home in round 1, so damn, that's depressing. So we got to make another potential trade here. So Hawks and Nuggets, and the Hawks going to win it all. Trae Young is your finals MVP. So far, we have not even touched the success we touched in year 1. So we're about to go into year 4 with no other finals appearances so far, which has just been pretty devastating, demoralizing so far. But that's just how it's been right now. So might have to look into another big trade here, which I wasn't going to do, but I think that's what we got to do next. So at this point, I'm just going to make this trade with the Orlando Magic, where we bring in a very similar archetype to Derek White, where Jalen Suggs is a good perimeter defender. He would start at the point guard spot, so that maybe move Pritchard back to the bench. But this would make things interesting here. So Suggs for Derek White. Not the most realistic trade in the world, but at least we're throwing in a 2030 first. We're just trying to bring a championship in, and I do worry about Derek White regressing. So Suggs gets brought in, which is going to move probably Smart to the shooting guard, or we'll move Jaylen Brown. We'll figure it out. Kamara, he's a free agent, so bringing him back is not going to be easy, which would have loved to have kept him, but probably not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. So first trade is done. We trade Derek White for Jalen Suggs, and now let's go to player options. So we got Champagnie and Sharman, so accept that. Kamara actually is a restricted free agent, so we might be able to bring him back, which would be very helpful if we could. So it doesn't list him as a bird rights guy, but if he comes back on his qualifying offer, I mean, we got to be happy about that. So that would be ideal if he's able to. Jordan Walsh, also a free agent who might eventually become something. So we just got to wait for, I guess at this point, Kamara to see if he comes back. Because if he does, that shifts things in a whole different direction. But I think this last season coming up, or I'm going to make it the last season, so Kamara will come back, which is awesome. $10 million. So Kamara is brought in at the small forward spot. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to shift probably things up. So like Jaylen Brown's going to slide to the 2. Kamara's going to start at the 3. And then Tatum is going to, or you could even, no, probably just do that. So Tatum will stay at the 4, but Kamara will start and Jaylen Brown will start at the 2. And we'll move, I guess we didn't even need to resign DiVincenzo in this scenario, but I guess I already did, so not much to do about it now. But, or we could trade him. So Jaylen Brown will slide to the 2, like I said. He doesn't go down. So we'll leave him at the shooting guard, and we'll see how that goes. So Kamara will start at the 3. So it'll be Suggs, Pritchard off the bench, back on the bench, that is. Jordan Walsh gets an opportunity to play this year. Champagnie and Reed, who continues to develop too. And Sharp and Porzingis. All right. So now let's see if we can't get anything for... Well, I guess we're just going to leave things the way they are. So our big addition was bringing in Jalen Suggs, and we'll see how that goes. And we just got to move Marcus Smart to the 2 guard, and we'll rock with that. So Smart's going to go shooting guard. DiVincenzo would go up to an 80 at small forward, which Kamara is the backup, and then Walsh is also there. But we'll have to see what player progression is looking like. So DiVincenzo at small forward is an 80. Jordan Walsh isn't quite ready to play. So yeah, at the deadline, if I do decide to make a trade, I will show you. But this is probably the last season coming up, so hopefully we can make a championship run, because we have not even come close since year number 1. So Jokic is your MVP in a Bulls jersey. Stokes, Rookie of the Year. Giddey's your 6-man Women Defensive Player. Fleming's your most improved, and John Morant Clutch Player, and Joe Mazzulla Coach of the Year at 66 and 16. So we've had our best record so far. So we've done a lot of trades to get to this point. But all that matters is trying to bring home a championship for the Celtics, although they have a ton in their franchise history. So 27 points from Tatum, 25 from Jaylen Brown, 18 from Porzingis, 12 from Jalen Suggs, 10 from Smart, 9 from Pritchard, 8 from DiVincenzo, 7 from Kamara, and 6 from Daron Sharp. And this was the lineup, by the way. So it was Kamara starting, but now they want to start DiVincenzo, which is interesting. But I don't know. I might still start, like I said. I think I'm going to still start Kamara for the... Oh, not what I want to do at all. Sorry. We're going to throw DiVincenzo back to the bench and put Kamara in there, because I want Kamara to play a ton of minutes for a reason. So 28 minutes is fine. So in round 1, we got bounced in round 1 last year by the Pacers. So let's see if we can't redeem ourselves. We played Detroit earlier and we beat them. Detroit is a team that gets better, but doesn't matter. Now we get to play Cleveland, who also beat us earlier. We have Jalen Tyson now up to an 86 overall. So game 1 goes to Cleveland. They beat us pretty badly there, but we even the series. 2-1 to us, 3-1, and we beat them in 6, hopefully. Yes, we do. So we're back to the conference finals for the first time since year 1. Now we get to play the Brooklyn Nets. We have Fears, Thomas, AJ DeBanza, Asa. They've drafted extremely well. Brought in Giddey and RJ Barrett. Damn, this is a pretty interesting team. But we'll see how this goes. So game 1 goes to us. Good start. Game 2, game 3 goes to them, and they even it up. All right, so let's simcast game 5. They really want to put DiVincenzo in, I guess. So we'll see how that goes with Dante starting. So game 5 in TD Garden. Let's not blow this chance away. Because I would love to end this video off with a championship for the Celtics, and it looks like we will win game 5. Okay, now simcast game 6 to see if we can't go to the finals for the first time since the first season of this rebuild, and we will have ourselves a game 7, it looks like. So game 7 is in fact happening. They beat us really badly in game 6. Game 7 to get to the finals to play the Dallas Mavericks. Have a finals rematch, and we got a close one here again. They're on our tail, so this is making me nervous, low-key. And I didn't even have a chance to stop it. We lose 107-104. So we're not bringing a championship to the Celtics today. The Nets go on to win it all. AJ DeBanza is your finals MVP. So sometimes it just does not work out, but that's what happens. So unfortunately, Boston could not get it done for me today, which sucks. Made a lot of different variations with trades, but sometimes that's just how it works. I hope you guys enjoyed this video regardless. Would have loved to have ended off there with a championship, but we were 1 game away earlier from winning 1. Now we're 1 game away from getting to the finals to play Dallas, which Dallas at this point, has Kyrie, Ian Jackson, Wiggins, Anthony Davis, and Lively, Gafford. So I don't know. I think we could have beaten them, but we'll never know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables, saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.